This is Liberty on Nicotine, coming to you at the kickoff of the famous Myrtle Beach Spring Bike Rally. Grab your favorite smoke and get ready for the ride.
Rolling up the Constitution in my left hand, lighted with the flame of the free market's brand. Taxation's theft, but the smoke ain't cheap. Burning through the system with liberty on nicotine. No kings, no crown. Just the right to choose my lungs, my life.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bikers, cigar degenerates, accidental tourists, and at least 3 confused Canadians who thought Myrtle Beach Bike Week was a quilting convention. Welcome back to Liberty on Nicotine. I'm sitting outside the Myrtle Beach Harley Davidson at the opening pulse of the legendary spring rally. And folks, civilization is hanging on by a leather vest and a zip tie. I've got a Tommy Bahama Island Collection Trinidad cigar in hand. Yes, Tommy Bahama. A cigar that sounds less like something you smoke and more like a guy who owns 3 timeshares and says things like, you know where they make the best coconut shrimp? But don't let the branding fool you. This thing is produced by the legendary J.C. Newman Cigar Company, the same people known for the Quorum line. So underneath the tropical marketing is real working man cigar. Kind of like putting Jimmy Buffett in steel-toed boots. And I'm pairing it tonight with the champagne of motorcycle parking lots, a cold Coors Light. Now, some cigar snobs are already clutching their pearls. A mild cigar with a light beer? Yes, because this is Bike Week, not a TED Talk at Napa Vineyard. Around me is the great annual migration of chrome, denim, tattoos, freedom, exhaust fumes, and questionable financial decisions. Tens of thousands descend upon the Grand Strand every year in what we can only be described as a temporary libertarian autonomous zone with better brisket. And if you've never been to a Myrtle Beach Bike Week, allow me to explain. Imagine Sturgis had a beach vacation and accidentally mixed with a NASCAR tailgate, a Jimmy Buffett concert, and a county fair run by pyromaniacs. That's the atmosphere. You've got bikes worth more than starter homes parked next to a 1987 rattling death machine held together by patriotism and Harbor Freight farts. And somehow, both owners are equally proud. That's America. You hear this phrase every year from locals. It's loud, it's crowded, traffic is horrible. There's nowhere to park. Exactly. And that's how you know the tradition is working. Traditions aren't supposed to be efficient. If traditions were efficient, Thanksgiving would be replaced with Soylent and a Zoom call. But no, Bike Week is gloriously inconvenient. It's a celebration of voluntary chaos. You ride 30 minutes to move 2 miles. You stand in line 45 minutes for pulled pork. You sweat through your shirt before noon, and you love every second of it. Now, along the Grand Strand, the landmarks come to life. You've got Suck Bang Blow, perhaps the greatest business name in human history. Somewhere, a corporate branding consultant hears the name and immediately bursts into flames. Suck Bang Blow doesn't sound like a motorcycle bar. It sounds like a federal government trying to explain monetary policy. And every year, people act shocked by what goes on there. There are burnout pits, loud music, revelry. Yes, it's called honesty in advertising. Nobody walks into Suck Bang Blow expecting a silent meditation retreat and a gluten-free cucumber water. Then there's the Beaver Bar. Again, establishment where subtlety murdered in broad daylight. But what I love about these places is they exist because people voluntarily wanted them to exist. Nobody formed a federal commission on biker entertainment optimization. No bureaucrat in Washington said, we need a taxpayer-funded initiative for outdoor burnout demonstrations. Nope. People with entrepreneurial spirit simply looked around and said, you know, this highway needs more barbecue and louder Skinnerd. That's free enterprise, baby. Everywhere you look, there are vendors selling shirts with slogans that would get you fired from 3 Fortune 500 companies before lunchtime. There are leather workers crafting gear beside old veterans selling homemade hot sauce. There are food tents pumping out sausages, turkey legs, bluing onions, smoked ribs, and enough fried food to make a cardiologist visibly perspire 2 counties away. And honestly, it's beautiful because it's decentralization, no master planner, no cultural committee, no department of approved fund, just thousands of individuals deciding what they like and are exchanging money voluntarily for it. That's why events like this feel alive, while government-sponsored festivals always feel like a hostage situations with pamphlets. And let us discuss the motorcycles themselves. Good Lord, you've got Harleys polished so bright they can probably communicate with satellites. You've got custom choppers with paint jobs worth more than my first car. You've got trikes, baggers, rat bikes, slingshots, vintage Indians, metric cruisers, and at least one guy riding something assembled entirely from spare lawnmower parts and unresolved anger. And all of them rolling together under one unwritten understanding. Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. That right there is the biker version of libertarian philosophy. You don't need universal agreement. You just need mutual tolerance and enough lane space. Now, every year, there's handwriting from somebody about the rally. Too noisy, too rowdy, too much drinking, too much smoking, too much freedom, which is always funny because Myrtle Beach survives on tourism. You can't build an economy around entertaining people and then act surprised when entertaining people arrive. That's like opening a steakhouse and becoming morally offended by cows. And yes, the rally gets wild. You'll see things during Bike Week that cannot be unseen. I once saw a man wearing flip-flops, leather chaps, no shirt, mirrored sunglasses, and a Viking helmet buying scented candles. That sentence alone should qualify South Carolina for UNESCO cultural preservation status or something. But underneath the craziness is something genuinely, well, human. People reconnect here. Old riding buddies reunite. Veterans find a camaraderie among themselves. Couples take road trips. Retirees rediscover adventure. Working folks escape routine. And for 10 days, the Grand Strand transforms into this roaring carnival of mechanical freedom. You know what nobody asks at Bike Week? What's your political tribe? Because nobody cares. Can you ride? Can you laugh? Can you handle the noise? Can you not spill beer on somebody's saddlebag? That's the social contract. And honestly, society could learn a lot from bikers. Bikers understand risk better than most politicians ever will. Every rider knows freedom carries danger. You can't wrap life in bubble wrap and still call it living. That's why bikers generally laugh at nanny state nonsense. These are people voluntarily traveling 70 miles per hour exposed to weather, debris, distracted drivers, and, well, South Carolina road construction. They are not emotionally prepared to be lectured about, well, flavored vape bans. Now, this Tommy Bahama Trinidad cigar actually fits the atmosphere surprisingly well. It's mellow, it's easygoing, slightly tropical, not trying too hard. The cigar equivalent of a beach bar guitarist playing Margaritaville while ignoring 3 divorces and a cholesterol warning. And paired with Coors Light? Look, sometimes pairing notes are simple. This combination says, I came here to relax, not to solve quantum mechanics. And I appreciate that because modern culture overcomplicates everything. Coffee needs tasting notes. Beer requires dissertations. Cigars need origin stories narrated like Ken Burns documentaries. Meanwhile, most people just want something enjoyable while sitting outside watching motorcycles thunder past like, well, caffeinated buffalo. And speaking of thunder, you probably heard that massive roar of engines in the background. That's not noise. That's the sound of internal combustion singing the song of liberty. Environmental activists hear that and faint like Victorian women seeing an exposed ankle. But to the American spirit, that sound means movement, mobility, independence, escape. And there's a reason authoritarian societies fear unrestricted movement. People who can freely travel become difficult to control. Bikers understand that instinctively. Every motorcycle is a declaration, I decide where this road goes. And that is powerful. Now, eventually tonight, things will escalate. The bands will get louder, the dancing will get wobblier. Some people will attempt karaoke at dangerous confidence levels. And somewhere near Myrtle's Inlet, a man named Snake will make a decision that absolutely should have included legal counsel. But for now, the sun is dropping, the cigar is burning evenly, the beer is cold, and the rally is alive. And despite all the complaints from the anti-fun patrol, the tradition matters because traditions remind people they belong to something larger than algorithms and office buildings. For 10 days every year, the Grand Strand becomes a celebration of mechanical rebellion, personal freedom, loud music, bad decisions, open roads, capitalism, nicotine, grilled meat, and beautiful chaos of voluntary human gathering. And frankly, that beats the hell out of another night of doom scrolling on the couch while some streaming service asks if you're still watching. Yes, we're still watching. Watching America rumble by with one V-twin at a time. Until next time, my friends, light them up if you got them, tip your bartenders, respect the road, avoid gas station sushi during Bike Week, and remember, freedom is noisy. The sound of a motorcycle engine swelling into the night as we hear that southern rock fading into our lives. This has been another episode of Liberty on Nicotine. If you enjoy these episodes and you want to hear more freedom content, check out libertycrackmedia.com. We have many other podcasts. If you're interested in literature, we have The Bookworm Mom. If you just want a few laughs from goofy guys talking about nonsense, try out Microphone Monkeys. And if you're a information, news, kind of political junkie, try out the Conversations with the Hoff. You can find all of these at libertycrackmedia.com.
But the smoke ain't cheap, burning through the system with liberty on nicotine.
No kings, no crown.
Just the right to choose my lungs, my life, I'm the one to lose. Government hands on my Cuban leaves, the only red tapes on this monocrestal sleeve. Liberty on nicotine. Sovereign smoke rings in the free airstream. Liberty on nicotine. They can't tax the fire in my rebels' lab. Founding fathers puffing in the Federalist Papers, while modern tyrants try to ban my behavior. I don't need permission to light my own way. The Declaration's ink stains on my ashtray. They want control from womb to tomb, but my cigar's the torch of the unshackled boom. Every exhale's a protest in the night. Individual rights burning bright. Liberty on nicotine. Sovereign smoke rings in the free airstream. Liberty on nicotine. They can't tax the fire in my rebels' lab. Ash to ash we all fall down, but I'll die free with my last smoke crown. No master's leash, no bureaucrat's dream, just my liberty on nicotine. Liberty on nicotine. Sovereign smoke rings in the free airstream. Liberty